Hello and welcome everyone to another Power Talks with the Talk Doctor featuring Ask the Talk Doctor Live. I'm your host, Dr. Dacia. I'm a psychotherapist, speaker, consultant, and life coach. And I am so happy to announce that it is Friday. Always a pleasure to be with all of you today. Thank you so much for gifting yourself with this time. We have a wonderful show planned for you all today. Sorry we were a little bit late getting started with the live feed, but you know, technology, it does that to us when we least expect it. But we are here, and I am so very excited to really be able to welcome those of you who are new to the family. If you are joining us for the very first time, why don't you tell us what city you're joining from? We'd like to give you some Talk Doctor love. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, we'd love to have you as a subscriber. So just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We guarantee you that these broadcasts are going to be such value to your lives. It's check-in time, so go ahead and check in with us and just leave us a comment in the box. Let us know you're here. Let us know what city you're joining from. And we, again, would love to give you some Top Doctor love. So let's get right into it. What's your relationship with food? Yes, I said it. Your relationship with food. Now, are you one who tends to eat to your emotions? Do you binge eat? Do you practice what we call mindless eating? That just means you're eating on the run, you're sitting in front of your television and you're eating, or maybe you're kind of picking out everybody's food because you don't really have time to sit down and eat your own food. Also, I wonder, do you have certain foods that's been passed down from generation to generation that's within your family, and you just know you should not be eating those food? Well, you just continue because guess what? It's tradition, it's my roots, and it connects me to my family or to my background, and I'm just going to eat it. Do you have certain health problems that you know are linked to the foods that you eat? Your diet, your eating habits, you simply just doing. Do you also engage in unhealthy habits? Maybe you have some vices like smoking, drinking in excess, chewing tobacco, or using illicit substances. If this is you, listen up. We have an awesome show that we have planned for you today, and we're talking about emotional relationships with foods and other toxins. What you don't know is harming you. One of my best girlfriends said to me when she saw this topic, she texted me and she said, "You are not about to take away my oxtails." And I kind of chuckled because if you know what oxtails are, they are a Caribbean cuisine that is just absolutely delicious. But I've given it up. Don't eat it anymore. But it's one of those things that's tied to your tradition, your roots, and it tastes really good. So it might be hard to give it up, just like my girlfriend said. But you see, some of the foods we eat in excess are slowly killing us. What do I mean by that? Really and truly, when we think about all of the risk factors, all of the things that are, just kind of slowly taking a toll on us and who we are as people. There are so many risk factors out there and directly linked to the foods we eat. Hypertension, type 2 diabetes, obesity, certain cancer, liver, high cholesterol, stroke, even sleep, osteoarthritis. Yes, I said it. If you have arthritis, take a look at your diet. And these are just a few. These are just a few. But, you didn't come here for me to kind of be the one to put a damper on things for you. You came here to get some information. And, I can be on this train all day long because I love to talk about health and wellness. But I also have a guest today that seems to be equally as passionate about health and wellness as well. And I'll tell you a little bit about him before I bring him on. He is the owner of a wellness practice called Black to Health. He's a certified holistic health consultant and a registered naturopath and addiction counselor with experience in Reiki. He became passionate about health and wellness after seeing the need in his community. So somewhere around 2007 or so, he founded Black to Health to bring awareness to holistic health in his community. Now, over the last 13 years or so, he has shared his knowledge and his experience through countless individual group counseling sessions, and he has had kitchen audits, shopping excursions, and nutritional counseling that he does, among a few things, with his clients that he serves. He's been able to help people lose weight, develop healthy habits, reduce their reliance on various medications. And he also has treated people who suffer from many of these conditions that I shared with you earlier. So without further delay, I want to say PowerTalks with the Talk Doctor, join me in welcoming today's guest, Mr. Marvin Dandy. Hi, Mr. Dandy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
All righty, great, great. So glad you had an opportunity to be here with us today. And I hope everyone can hear us. We actually had to switch to another, way of getting the audio up. So it might be a little bit low, but bear with me. I'll try to repeat some of the things that he's saying, just in case you have a difficult time hearing him. But let's get into it, because I know you're short on time. First of all, for those people who don't know it, please tell us, what exactly does a holistic health practitioner do?
Okay, so a holistic health practitioner or a naturopath, you have three separate categories of practice that people have the ability to help support people during a wellness journey. One is an allopathic doctor, which is someone that believes in conventional medicine, things like penicillin, those kind of things. That's an allopathic doctor. Then you have a homeopathic doctor or homeopathic practitioner. That's someone that believes in conventional medicine and traditional medicine, meaning herbal supplements, and also with conventional medicine like the penicillin and things like that, antibiotics. Then you have a naturopath. So a naturopath is someone that does everything naturally. He's also considered a holistic health practitioner that supports people with health issues with just all natural alternatives like ginger, cayenne pepper, burdock fruit, olive oil, those kind of things. That's a naturopath.
Yeah. So it sounds like what you're saying is they focus generally on natural things found within the earth to use for consumption as well as healing.
Correct.
Absolutely. Great. Some of my favorite things you actually just mentioned there. So tell us what you have found in your work with the clients that you serve about people's emotional relationships with food and how it has a direct impact on health outcomes.
So when I first started the practice, I've noticed that a lot of people in the community were suffering from like high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, gout, cancer, those kind of high cholesterol, those kind of things. But I was finding out that those things were a direct connection to learned behavior and poor relationships. Whether it was poor relationships with your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, but it was poor relationships. So I really built my business on the foundation of teaching people how to build and maintain healthy relationships through good health. Because when we are feeling some kind of way, or we're sad, or we're depressed, or we're full of joy, we have the tendency to connect it with food.
Yes.
And every food is connected to an emotion, and every emotion is tied to an organ.
Yeah.
So during my practice, I've learned that a lot of people that I was coming in contact with were really addicted to sugar and salt and crunchy foods. And it gives me a clear picture of what's going on with you emotionally, which gives me a clear picture of what's going on with you internally.
I see. That's interesting. So it sounds like there is this interconnection definitely between our emotions and the foods that we eat, the foods that we crave. Particularly a lot of times, when people are feeling sad and down and blue, as a mental health professional myself, they'll reach for the sweet stuff to sort of self-soothe. And oftentimes, as we know, if you become really depressed and you stay in that state for a long time, you can really consume a lot of sugar, a lot of sweet foods, and you're not really mindful of the fact that you're not really consuming something that might not be the best for your health in the long run.
Right, and you made a really good point. A lot of us have the tendency to gravitate towards sugar, and sugar is always connected to love and affection. The inability to receive or give love and affection.
Yeah.
And if you look at history, if you look at what's going on now in modern day times, everything that's connected to sugar deals with love and affection. Even when you coin these terms with your mate, my honey bun, my sweetheart,
yes,
those kind of things. Even Valentine's Day, you give
candy,
sugar,
you're
chocolate,
right,
sweet roses, sweet perfume. Everything is connected to sugar.
Yes.
So that's a comfort food for love and affection, your inability to receive or give love and affection. So you have to look at those things, and that also deals with the liver, which also deals with the pancreas. And so you got to look at those things. So I've noticed that when I was supporting people during their health journey that end up with diabetes, it was because of those kind of connections that they were lacking.
Yeah. And when we're not mindful about these things, or we're not educated about these things, we can really miss the root causes, and I know if we had time, we could really go into the generational cycle of a lot of this and where it originated. But again, sometimes we're going on with our lives and we are used to eating this way or eating this type of food, and this food is connected to my family and what we do during certain holidays, and we're not really mindfully thinking about the toll in accumulation that this could take on us until something happens, until we get sick. And then we're like, whoa, where did this come from? Or I didn't see this coming. I like that. That's really good stuff that you just shared there. You have some products that, you have used to treat your patients, and that's also available on the marketplace for people to purchase. But I want to really share with our viewers how these products came about and why they're important. And as you're talking about them, I'm going to try to do a little bit of a demonstration. I hope you can still see me, but you'll be able to hear me anyway. And I'll ask you to share it with our viewers, because I think it's really important for us to display these. So the first one, here I have a few of Mr. Dandy's products. That's offered on his website, blacktohealth.com. And we're going to talk about just 3 of them. The first one I want to talk about here is, let's start with this one. We're going to talk about the daily maintenance, because I think this one is really important. And why is daily maintenance important? Why did that come about?
So the daily maintenance came about, the way I was trained and taught, is that the daily maintenance came because I was taught that the liver is actually the organ that grounds your brain. And a lot of us have the tendency to eat a lot of sugar, which the liver is part of the digestive system.
Yeah.
And if the liver is imbalanced and it's not as grounded like it's supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
so it causes a lot of digestive issues, it causes a lot of emotional imbalances, it causes a lot of mood swings. So I knew that I had to come up with a product that would support people on their journey back to health. So I had to create this product that would help not only ground their liver, but it also would help the whole digestive system, which your liver, your pancreas, your gallbladder, your small and large intestines, your stomach, your colon, those kind of things. And the daily maintenance helps you release on a regular. You have regular bowel movement. The average person should be using the bathroom or having a bowel movement at least 2 to 3 times a day.
Yeah.
The bare minimum, at least 2 to 3 times a day.
Yeah.
If you're not, that means you're full of toxic waste. And you're not overweight, you're overweight.
Absolutely. I like that.
So daily maintenance came up with that, because that's the first thing you want to target.
Yeah.
Just like a car, if something go wrong with your car, you don't look at the flat tire, you open up the hood and look at the engine and see what's going on. That's how your body is. Your stomach is the most important thing on your body, because 80 to 90% of diseases start in the colon.
It does.
Digestive system.
Absolutely. I'm glad you are mentioning the liver, because if you don't understand your body, many of you may not realize that the liver serves as a filtration system. Everything that we consume is filtered through our liver. So when we talk about having something to support our gut health, because let's face it, yes, you are correct that a lot of people don't have healthy poop. They don't do it enough, and we don't talk about it enough. It's one of those things that we shy away from talking about, but it's the very thing that's keeping us in this cycle of poor health. So your daily maintenance, I know that it comes with a little spoon, and you really just kind of place some, maybe you put it in your juice, or you can, put it in something warm, your tea, or whatever the case may be. For some of you who have, difficulty like tolerating taste, I would suggest that maybe you use a smoothie or something, but you just kind of, mix it in, and just kind of drink it down. The juice, this is orange juice that I'm using, takes away some of the taste that you might not be able to tolerate. And I'm used to this stuff, so it tastes good to me. But if you're tasting it for the first time, you may say to yourself, this is an acquired taste. But if you're doing this every day, do you see that your patients report that, or your clients report that they are then able to go at least 3 times a day, like you're reporting here?
Oh, definitely, most definitely. Some go more than 3 times a day.
And the more the merrier,
Yes.
because input output. All right, great. So that's the daily maintenance. The other product I want to ask you about is this respiratory tea, and how did that one come about?
Well, the respiratory tea came about because that deals with your lungs, which your lungs deals with bonding issues, and a lot of young men and women are dealing with a lot of bonding issues. That's why a lot of people are starting to um, focus and indulge in cannabis, a lot of cannabis products, because it deals with bonding issues, and your lungs does. And so I knew I needed to come up with a product that will support people with those bonding issues and respiratory issues like bronchitis, sinus, common cold, COVID, those kind of things. It helps with the respiratory system.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this particular product comes with one of these steepers, where you filter through the herbs that are inside of this. And tell us a little bit of what people can expect that's in these products, because some people may be wondering, what's in this powder, or what's in, the respiratory tea, just so that they know that it's things that sometimes you can even find in the stores where you're shopping, if you're used to, seasoning your food with herbs and spices.
Right. So one of my main ingredients in most of my products is cayenne pepper.
Mm-hmm.
I use some, I use milk thistle also, some burdock root, and
Yeah.
lard, and ginger, and flaxseed. So it's a number of different herbs that you can pretty much get at a Mom's Organic Market, Yes Organic Market, Whole Foods, those kind of places, those things that you can get.
I love it. So somebody is asking a question already, and it's a great question. Can you take the daily maintenance if you have hypertension?
Yes, you can definitely take it if you have hypertension. It helps support you in that journey as well.
Absolutely.
If you have hypertension, hypertension is because of a poor nutritional diet. What I would have those people do is do a food journal for 1 week, and we will start to eliminate some things. I don't push anyone to be a vegan or vegetarian, but I would love to see their food journal and see exactly what they're having in their food, because a lot of things that has a lot of salt, but people don't know how to read the label. So I support them in that area as well.
That's right. Very, very good point that you made. And we talk about the liver being a filtration system. The daily maintenance is one of those things, because of the things that it contains, that can really help filter through. But as I said before, input, output, when you do this, when you switch to a lifestyle where you're going to be healthier, you don't want to be putting the same things back into your body. It makes no sense. You have to make a commitment to be on this journey of good health, so that once you cleanse, that you're putting good things back into your body. And speaking of good things, tell us a little bit about what makes a healthy versus an unhealthy diet. So if somebody wanted to switch, what would be one of the first things that you would tell them to do?
I would tell them to consume more water, and eliminate dairy. Eliminate dairy products, the milk, the cheese, the egg, the yogurt, the ice cream. Also, I would tell them to eliminate a lot of sugar. Sugar's in everything, but I would just make sure that they be mindful of how much sugar they consume. And I also will make sure that they have a regular bowel movement and make sure to get plenty of sun as much as possible. At least at the bare minimum 3 days a week, be out in the sun. That helps with digestive system, which in turn helps with the liver, which in turn grounds the brain.
Absolutely.
Keep you mentally stable.
Yes. And I imagine that you kind of coach people through this as well to kind of help them support their journey to changing, because it's hard once you've been grounded in a certain way of eating or a certain way of thinking about food. It's hard to make the switch. So I was sharing with you guys before the respiratory tea, and this is a good one for this time of year, cold and flu season. Again, it comes with a seeper. You seep it and you just, you drink it up. And how many times a day should we be drinking respiratory tea, particularly if we have a cold or flu or even COVID?
Yeah, you can drink it at least 2 to 3 times a day, depending on if you have any really underlying health issues. I would be aggressive with drinking it. I would drink it at least 3 times a day if you have some underlying health issues that you're trying to help.
Yes. Yes.
And it's really bitter, but it's really good.
Yeah, I was just about to tell them that, because I want to be honest with people that, again, this may be an acquired taste for you, but for me, I can tolerate it because these are things that I'm used to consuming. But if it is it okay for us to like squeeze a lemon, maybe put some honey? Yes.
Lemon, yes, you can do lemon or honey or agave. I would use sugar or raw sugar. I would use honey or agave.
That's right. So remember that. Remember, we're talking about these things in that we're putting these toxins in our body, and you want to stay away from making sure that you're putting, refined sugar and those types of things. So he mentioned using agave. I would even say monk fruit is another one. If you can pick some up, 0 calories, and it's derived from plants. And I swear by my Manuka honey, all honey is not created equal. So you have to get something in its purest form if you really want to make sure that, again, you're supporting a healthier journey. One other product you have here that I want to bring to their attention, because as we're talking about the insides, oftentimes when we put things on the inside, it shows up on our skin, on our face, every part of our bodies. And sometimes we need some support for good skin health. And you have another product here, which I absolutely like. It smells really good. Tell us a little bit about this topical skin product that you have.
Yes, that's the Mary's Herbal Cream. That is good for, it's really good for eczema. It's good for bumps, rashes, cuts, burns, herpes warts, cold sores, even out skin tone. I use it daily. I use it every single day. And it's just really, really good for your skin. It's really have a lot of good early healing supplements or support supplements in it that will help you with evening out your skin tone and the bumps and the rashes. Even on my Instagram page, it has an image of someone that had the young lady. She had shingles, and it helped clear her shingles up in 3 days.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's awesome. So he's sharing with us some of the things that this particular topical skin product can be used for. And it sounds like a lot of the same herbal ingredients that you put in the teas are probably also in the topical cream as well. I smell something minty. Is there some sort of menthol in it?
Yes, it's peppermint.
Peppermint.
It has peppermint in it. It has echinacea in it. It has neem. It has grapeseed oil, coconut oil. It has quite a few.
All good stuff. All good stuff. Yes. Well, I appreciate you sharing this, and I appreciate you sharing, just some of the support that's available to people who want to really start on this journey to good health. Now, I don't know if anything came into the comments or chat with regards to questions. This is a good time because we're going to have to let our guests go soon. So I want to be able to take your questions if you have them so that he can support you before he has to run. But tell people, while we're waiting for a question to come in, where can they find you? You mentioned Instagram. Where are the other media, social media, or where people could contact you if they wanted your help?
They can reach me directly through my phone number or my website. My website is black, as in the color black, and 2TO health. So it's black2health.com.
Black2health.com.
My website, my phone number is 240-691-2771. That's 240-691-2771. And I'm also on Instagram as black2health, but it's blacktwo health.
Black2health. Got it. Okay.
Instagram.
And guys, we're going to put up a slide later on that has his contact information on it in case you missed it. But his website again is black2health.com. This is great. So did we get anything else to come in that we could have Mr. Dandy to answer? So somebody is asking about egg substitutes. Can you share with us, because you mentioned some of the things that we should be taking out of our diet if we're beginning this journey of good health, and some people may use egg substitutes. What's your take on an egg substitute?
I'm using something that's called an egg replacer. That's pretty good. You can use flaxseed as well.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a substitute for egg replacer too.
Okay.
If you're a baker, you can use either one of those. It's called egg replacer, or you can use flaxseed.
Flaxseed as a form. Great. Good questions, guys. So before you go, a viewer sent in a question, and I want to ask you how we can help her. And then I know you have to run, so we'll let you go. So here's what she said. She said, everyone in my family is overweight. I've been taught how to eat from a generation of people who eat high-calorie rich food. We come together, and it's often around food. It's a big spread. I don't want to end up with an early death because of my lifestyle. What do I do to break up with my unhealthy eating habits for good?
Well, it sounds like definitely she would need some counseling, because it sounds like food is the bonding element. It's the component that brings them together.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to find another. And whenever you remove something, you have to replace it with something. So I don't want to just say, hey, just remove it, stop eating it. But if you remove it, you have to replace it with something healthy, because if not, something unhealthy will come right back in that place. You don't have to fill that void. It's just like when you go to the dentist and you get a tooth removed. The dentist always recommends that you either get a cap or something in replace of it, because your teeth will start to shift.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'll have all these negative effects that will happen to you if you don't replace what you remove.
Yes.
So I would recommend that she also seek some counseling, which I do. I provide counseling, and try to help her to kind of find other things that she can do to substitute that bond.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds like, because I did that as well. I used to do bonding through food with people. Counseling, bonding through food. So I understand about the old ways and what she needs to do.
Yeah.
I can definitely support her in that process.
Absolutely. And I definitely agree with you in that area of it does sound like there are some psychological things going on. The detachment from my family, feeling perhaps ostracized if I don't want to eat these things again. And it also sounds like, there is a generational cycle around food where she has learned to do this. And so to unlearn those things does sometimes require you to have psychological support. So that's what I would recommend. And for those of you who are out there and feeling this way as well, the holiday season is coming up, and what do? We eat. And we eat some things that are not so good for us. But this is great. I really appreciate it. I know that your time is short with us, but this was wonderful. All the things that you shared with us is right on point. I do hope you'll come back again and chat with us maybe next time when you have more time. But again, this was Marvin Dandy, black2health.com, and we're going to let him go. We're going to go ahead and do a wrap up here. Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Dandy. I appreciate your time, and we'll talk with you soon.
Okay, thank you. I will come back. We can definitely set it up again.
Okay, thank you so much. Take care.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, so that was awesome. Good information shared here with us. Again, just want to highlight a few things that we talked about. definitely the things that are harming us is our relationship that we're having with the foods that we're eating, having difficulty detaching from the things that we find are sometimes connected to our family, to generation of things, and even our psychological health, and making sure we self-soothe and things of that nature. But again, keep in mind that when you are not mindful about the foods you are consuming and engaging in mindless behaviors, oftentimes it results in dire consequences for your health and well-being. So I want to make sure that I've covered every question that you have. We're going to put up his information on the screen, but I also want to encourage you guys to know that resources are available to you. We will put up our resource as well, because as you know, as a mental health professional, we offer counseling around things like this. And also, as a wellness consultant, there's coaching that could help you in your journey. So the information is going to be up on the screen later on after the wrap up. Just want to make sure that I've taken all the questions. Instagram, go ahead and place your questions in the chat. I know some are coming in on the YouTube feed, so I'll be happy to take those for you as well. But I just want to do a bit of a wrap up and say that I'd like to share this quote for you by an unknown author. And that author says, just because you're sick doesn't mean, just because you're not sick, doesn't mean you are healthy. Just because you are not sick doesn't mean you are healthy. And sometimes we feel great and we keep going in our journey through life. And we keep eating the things that we want to eat because guess what? This is what's making me feel good right now. But we have to really think about what we don't think about. And a lot of what Mr. Dandy shared here with us today is the very thing that we don't go back to is the why. Like, why do I eat these things? Why do I continue to consume things that I know are heavy in fat and cholesterol? And, yeah, it might taste good, but I'm having trouble losing weight, or I'm feeling sluggish, or I can't move the way I used to move. My joints ache. And then we don't always examine the why, sometimes until it's too late. So sometimes the harmful effects of our lifestyles or our eating habit is quietly impacting us, just kind of slowly creeping up on us. And so as you go into the holiday season, where traditions are run high around food and you're pressured to eat and drink a certain way, be the light in the room, the one who dares to break the generational cycle of unhealthy eating. I would even encourage you to make something healthy and bring it and put it on the table as part of the spread. Be the one who is the change in the room, because all we need is one person to be the spark and the light of encouragement to really show us that it's not as bad as we think. It's all mental. When you have to lose weight, it's all mental. When you have to change your lifestyle, it's all mental. And again, support is available, because we don't expect you to wake up one morning and become vegan or vegetarian or even eliminate some of the things out of your diet. But think about it from the perspective of self-care. What do I want for my life? How do I want to leave this earth? Do I want to leave this earth in a way that I left the earth better than I found it? Or do I want to leave this earth sickly and just kind of consumed by multiple health problems and have my family take care of me in my latter years? You decide. You think about it. So was there one more that I can answer before I go? Some of the check-in people. Okay, I want to give you kudos for being here. Lena from Washington, D.C. Hi, baby. Eugene, Shardar, 227. Thank you guys all for being here. Those of you who I didn't mention, still love you. Love you so much. Biblical truth speaks to our relationship with food and how it impacts our health. Food is a sustenance, not a weapon or a tool or even a source of comfort. Yet it can be used for those very reasons. In 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, it reminds us that do you not know that your bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit who's in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought with a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. And so for those of you who are spiritual, this might resonate of a temple. How do we treat a temple? Well, we're going to take care of the temple if it has strong meaning. Your body is that. So you have to decide how you want to take care of it. Now, I don't know about you, but maybe it's my passion for health and wellness, but this show really reminded me to be more mindful and more cognizant about my own relationship with food. And I wish the same for you. Remember, you can go to AskTheTalkDr Live at gmail.com, post your questions there. We want to be helpful to you. You know, just think of it as the Dear Abby of the past. When people would send in questions to Dear Abby, well, AskTheTalkDr Live is your Dear Abby. We want to help you, so send us your questions. AskTheTalkDr Live at gmail.com. Also, we can provide further assistance on your wellness journey. We're here to help. We offer mental health counseling and wellness coaching and a whole host of other coaching to support your journey. You can request assistance at TheTalkDr Wellness Consultation at gmail.com. Once again, TheTalkDr Wellness Consultation at gmail.com. And the information from Mr. Dandy, we'd like to thank him so much for being with us today. We know that his time was short. He is at www.blacktohealth.com if you want to contact him. And again, I really appreciate those of you who have already hit the subscribe button. I appreciate those of you who have subscribed to us on Instagram, YouTube. Listen, before you leave, put a comment, hit the subscribe button. We're so glad that you were here today. Share this episode with your family and friends. They could really use it. Don't keep the wealth of information to yourself. Spread the love. And we'll see you next time on Power Talks with the Talk Doctor, featuring Ask the Talk Doctor Live. Be well, happy holidays, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for being here. Bye now.